But right now, I'm going to read up on one of the black women of the Bible, Apophilia. Apophilia. Apphia. Apophilia. And that you can find her in the first chapter of Philemon. Paul, a prisoner of Jesus Christ, and Timothy, our brother, unto Philemon, our dearly beloved, and fellow laborer, and to our beloved Apophilia, and Archippus, our fellow soldier, and to the church in their house. This is the story of Apophilia. My husband Philemon and I were among the 70 apostles whom Jesus sent out with the 12 to spread the good news of the gospel. We had the honor of being baptized by Paul, and my husband was disciplined by him. Philemon and I lived to honor Jesus and the good news he brought, so much so our church met in our home. We were rather wealthy, but we learned from Paul that our wealth was to be used for ministry. He taught us that we were to view all Christians, including slaves, as our brothers and sisters. During Nero's reign, the pagans celebrated regularly. All these times, my husband and I met with a small group in our home to pray and honor God. When the pagans heard about what we were doing, they dragged us out of our home and stoned us until we gave up our spirits to God. I was honored to serve in ministry next to my husband and to live and die only to know Jesus and make him known. Why her? Apophilia was a co-laborer with her husband, Philemon, and their son Archippus, who was a pastor. See Colossians 4, chapter 4, verse 17. They opened their home and held Christian meetings there. They were bold Christians who put their lives on the line just to worship God. It is no small thing that Apophilia was called beloved. The one word evokes the understanding that she was sister, friend, gentle lady, and servant all in one. In those days, Christians were persecuted and alienated from their blood families. All they had was their family in Christ, with whom they trusted their very lives. In the end, Apophilia, Philemon, and Archippus were stoned to death for their faith. Apophilia did not shy away from battling on the front lines with her husband and their son. They gave their lives in order to gain their lives. Apophilia was, okay, I read that, the sister, friend, lady, gentle lady, and the servant. About her, Apophilia is one of the only women counted by many as an apostle chosen by Jesus. She is the wife of Philemon, also an apostle. She lived during a time when being a Christian was not for the faint of heart. Nero had orchestrated the burning of Rome that devastated the city. When there was a rumored backlash from the people, Nero blamed the Christians for the blaze and ordered that they all die for this crime and many other heinous acts of which he falsely accused them. Christians in the early church put their lives on the line every day to practice their faith. If they were arrested, they were not just killed, they were put to death in the worst ways imaginable.
Wow.
Apply her. We may not currently face the kind of persecution that Apophilia and her family faced, but we are called to die daily in the practice of our faith. This means we give up our lives and surrender them to Christ, living only for Him.
Amen. 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 Amen.
Yeah.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Yes.